The movie that I chose to talk about is the 1959 film Imitation of Life. Throughout this video, you're going to see pictures from my favorite scenes from this movie, along with my commentary, as well as Lincoln's film theory of realism. In McGowan's book, he described Lincoln's realism as the gap that breaks down social structure. In this scene, Sarah Jane met up with her boyfriend who was Caucasian. But Sarah Jane's boyfriend had a little bit of new information that he found out about his girlfriend. He found out from his friends that her mother was black. Therefore, Sarah Jane was biracial. So when he confronted her about that, she was hesitant to tell him. But when she did, he beat her to a bloody pulp, punching her in the face, kicking her all in the alley, and really breaking her down. And in that instant, her dream life of being this Caucasian girl with this Caucasian boyfriend was interrupted. And she was brought back to a place in knowing that if she had an ounce of black in her, no matter how fair-skinned she was seen as black in a white person's eyes. And she would never fit into their society romantically at that. In talking about realism, also in McGowan's book, he explained Lincoln's theory of fundamental antagonism, in that it's when a character is between themselves and social order. In this heartbreaking scene, Annie went to go visit Sarah Jane at her new job because she moved away and started a new life. But when she met with her backstage just to tell her that she loved her and just wanted to see her again, Sarah Jane was furious and thought she'd blown her cover as a Caucasian woman. She told her mother that she was white. She wanted to be white. Why can't she see that she just wants to be white and just leave her alone? But Sarah Jane's mother didn't understand how much pain that her daughter was in and wanting to be this Caucasian woman, and seeing that Sarah Jane was at a crossroad of herself as a biracial girl and her dream of being a Caucasian woman to fit in a society where prejudice and racism was at an all-time high. But Annie slowly turned to her daughter and said, "Baby, I'm not here to mess anything up for you. I just want to hold you in my arms again, like you're my baby." And at that moment, Sarah Jane seen that her mother just wanted to comfort her and love her and didn't mean any harsh feelings. In this scene that you see, she's hugging her, knowing that she has to let her go, that this is a life that she wants and she has no choice to accept it because Sarah Jane is a grown woman. But soon as that happened, Sarah Jane's coworker came into the room and saw her hugging Annie. And at first, she thought Annie was one of the workers and was confused to why she was backstage. But at that instant, Sarah Jane had to put on a strong face and say that her mother was really her mammy who took care of her all her life. And when Annie said goodbye to Sarah Jane turned to her and said bye out loud, but mouthed the words mama so that her coworker couldn't hear her. And at that moment, I instantly just cried because the angles of this film and
Lincoln also talked about the gaze, and he described the gaze as the transformation of the subject's relationship to its world. And in this scene, Annie has passed, and when Sarah Jane found out about it, she came literally running to the funeral, and the different angles and the buildup of her running and opening that casket and hugging that casket and yelling, "Mother, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I really did love you," was the most dramatic point of the film. In this film, the different angles and the close-ups of this particular scene made it the most memorable scene of the whole movie, even if it was the end. Imitation of Life broke many barriers for it to be a 1959 film. It talked about interracial relationships, identity, love, and acceptance, and its journey throughout that world in that time.